Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen Serafian, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Kagan Cooperative Learning. So let me just start sharing my screen here. Just a second. Okay. So the Kagan structures are instructional strategies designed to promote cooperation and communication in the classroom. They also boost student confidence and retain their interest in classroom interaction. The structures work in all teaching contexts, regardless of subject, age group, and number of students in the class. And they're also a particularly powerful tool for teaching a foreign language. And down there in the corner, I have a picture of the book. When I was trained on this at my school, we all got a copy of this book and it was very helpful. Okay, some of the positives of cooperative learning. It holds all students accountable for participating. Even the shy, quiet student doesn't get to just sit there and not participate. Everybody has to participate. It increases opportunity to decode and produce language. It's good for team building, and it helps the members of the class kind of establish trust. It can promote natural language acquisition. The social aspect of cooperative learning is good for language uses. It allows students to receive input and interact in the target language and practice oral production of language. Can also help naturally develop fluency. Okay, before I get into what I'm going to share today, I am going to be talking about what they call the Essential Five. There are actually hundreds of the Kagan Cooperative structures, but I'm just going to be going over the Essential Five. And if you're interested in learning more about these, you can go on one of the websites, or the book has a lot of them that we were exposed to when I was trained on this. Okay, this first one is called the time pair share. And when you do this, one thing they told us was to make sure that to kind of establish who's going to go first. So you kind of give the students, you put them in pairs. You don't let them pick because it's just easier to put them in pairs. You might say something like, okay, whichever group member has the longest hair, you're going to go first. Then you're going to switch and the other person will go. And it makes it so that there's something there's no debate about, and then you know who's going first. So in a time pair share, partners will take time turns listening and sharing. So the teacher might be walking around, monitoring while this is going on. Maybe you're going to give 30 seconds for each thing. Maybe it might be a minute. The advantage of this is that half the class is actively producing language at any time and the other class is listening. Every student has to participate. The students are listening attentively so they can respond appropriately. This helps students regularly practice producing language on various topics. And then this is a good thing for like even building relationships at the beginning of the year. It doesn't even have to be something necessarily academic. Like it could be, for an example, you might have gotten back from spring break and you might have broken two of your students into a group, and maybe you paired Damari and Nicole in a group, and you're going to let them, share with each other for a minute. And then when it's time to share out, when you're calling on a group, if you call on Damari's group, you might say, okay, Damari, I want you to give me two things that Sarah said she did over her spring break, so that he has to like kind of prove that he was being an active listener during this. And he's not just remembering what he said, but also what his partner said. Okay, the next one being Rally Robin. The students are going to alternate generating oral responses. You might do this with adjectives describing a character, elements, sharing steps of an experiment, describing an event from the story. Round robin. This is going to be done in teams. Again, students are taking turns responding orally. Example, what makes a good listener? Can you list some objects that float? What clubs and teams are you a member of? What is one of your favorite movies? Rally coach. Partners are going to take turns, one solving a problem while the other coaches, and the partners switch roles. This is going to be useful for any process or procedure with a definite right or wrong. Especially good for solving multi-step word problems in math, maybe changing each decimal into a simplified fraction. Stand up, hand up, pair up. So it's quite simply what it says. You stand up, put your hand up, you go up to another person, they slap hands like this, and then that's your partner. So this is a good way to quickly find a partner to share or discuss. This is good for class building, processing and reviewing information, getting the class amped up about something, making up random pairs, or lesson start at the beginning of a lesson, or wrapping up a lesson. These are my resources. So like I said, today I just kind of gave you an overview of the essential 5, but there are hundreds of these structures that you can look at on the website. I thought it was a very awesome thing that I got trained on, and I definitely use it in my teaching a lot.